53% and 11. Remember those two numbers. The first, how much the average Japanese person keeps in cash in bank deposits. The second, the American. And this isn't just a difference in habits. This is two completely different relationships with money, with risk, and with the future. Today we watch what happens when these two approaches live side by side for 30 years. Meet Max and Jake, both 30, both earning $60,000 a year. Both want the same thing. By 60, never work just for money again. But the way they get there couldn't be more different. To understand why, we go back to 1989. The Japanese stock market at an all-time high. Euphoria, easy money, total confidence. Then the crash. Not just any crash. The Japanese market didn't return to those levels until 2024. 35 years. That's not a dip. That's a lifetime in the red. When you've watched the market swallow your parents' savings whole, you don't rush out to buy stocks. You buy a safe. The American investor saw crashes too. 2000, 2008, 2020. But every time the market came back, and every time it hammered one idea into their head, a downturn is a sale, not a disaster. Same world, different history, different psychology, very different money 30 years from now. First paycheck, $5,000 a month. Max lays it out carefully. Rent, food, family, a little for himself. $500 left over. He puts it in the bank, a deposit account, 0.02% a year. Almost nothing, but it's safe. The money isn't going anywhere. Jake does the same expenses, same $500 left. But his employer automatically moves 6% of his salary into a retirement account. Jake barely noticed. Just a checkbox on his paperwork when he started the job. $300 gone. But his employer matched it, added another $300 on top. $300 out of Jake's pocket became $600 in his account. This isn't an investment. This is free money. 10 years later, both of them 40. Max opens his statement. $61,000. Every month, never missed once. Iron discipline. But inflation quietly took 3% a year. The real value of that money is less than it was on day one. Max doesn't notice. Jake opens his app. He put in less from his own pocket, a lot less. But his portfolio, $122,000, twice as much. Compound interest plus free money from his employer. And he barely thought about it. The system just worked. 2031, a crisis. The market drops 35% in 3 months. Jake stares at his phone. 122,000 is now 79,000, minus $43,000. His fingers hover over the button, sell everything. But he doesn't press it. Not because he isn't scared, because he's seen this movie before, and he knows how it ends. Max, his 61,000 is still right there. Deposits don't fall with the market. Max is calmly drinking tea. In this moment, the Japanese approach looks brilliant. While everyone panics, you're completely safe. But that safety has a price, a very high price. 30 years later, both of them 60. Max, $202,000. He saved more every single month for 30 years. But adjusted for inflation, it's worth about $110,000 in today's money. Jake, $890,000. Out of his own pocket, he put in $108,000. Time did the rest. Max saved more and ended up with 4 times less. Not because he's less intelligent, not because he earned less, because money sitting in a deposit doesn't work. It just sits there. And inflation eats it every year, quietly, without permission. Before you draw any conclusions, let's be honest. The American path works under one condition. You don't panic at the bottom. You don't touch the money when everything is crashing. But the data says most people sell exactly when they should hold, and buy right when it's already too late. The Japanese path works too, if it's enough. But the average Japanese retiree today keeps working until 70, 75. Not because they love the job, Because the deposit didn't grow enough. Neither path is perfect. Each one has its price. A fork in the road. The Japanese investor chooses peace. The American investor chooses growth. One sleeps well during a crisis. The other wakes up wealthier 30 years later. Here's the question, and there's no answer to it in this video. What matters more to you? Sleeping soundly or waking up rich? Controlling the risk or controlling the outcome? Max and Jake don't know who's right. They're just walking their own path. But what about you? Tell me in the comments, I'm Max or I'm Jake. I'm genuinely curious which one wins. Next episode, we break down what happens when you take the best of both. Japanese discipline plus American tools. That one's going to be good. I promise. Subscribe. See you there.